In this video, I will import the SolidWorks file and then demonstrate a dynamic command. We'll start with some theory behind the dynamic transform command. Dynamic command is used to relocate and reorient a 3D model. It allows you to align a model with the CNC machine axis and origin. The dynamic command uses a dynamic gnomon which helps manipulate geometry orientation and location interactively. The gnomon consists of 3 axes connected at the origin with selection areas that allow different types of transforms, such as translate or rotate. The first step is to select the geometry to transform and then to place the gnomon on the 3D model. Usually you place it where you want the origin to be located. Then you need to align the axis to match the CNC machine axis orientation. And to do that, you have to toggle the gnomon switch to gnomon axis. Once you align the axis, you have to toggle the gnomon switch to the geometry manipulation mode. In this mode, you can move, copy, rotate, and align the selected geometry. The next step is to ensure that the origin location matches the word origin, which is the most often selected. And that you can achieve in the dynamic panel by just selecting in the origin the word button. You need to match the axis that you already aligned with the word axis. To do that, in the axis area in the panel, you have to select the word button. To check how the dynamic transform worked, you just need to do a right mouse click in the graphics window and select the isometric view. The part should look as shown. Let's see how the dynamic command works in Mastercam. To open a SolidWorks file, after selecting the Open icon in the Quick Access toolbar, I will have to change the file extension to SolidWorks file, and I have to locate the file that I need to open. In our case, I'm going to open the Advanced Pocket SolidWorks file. In the options, I am going to check to ensure that I'm importing solids, and then just select the Open button. I'm going to do a right mouse click and select the isometric view, and you can see how the part is orientated. To rotate the part, I'm just moving the cursor somewhere close to the center of the part, holding down the mouse wheel. I'm just dragging it slightly, and you can see this is actually the orientation that I want the part to be in an isometric view. I'm going to keep the part as it has to be orientated. You can see the axis orientation in the graphics window. And I am going to start the dynamic transform that will allow me to rotate the part as I need it. I will use the Mastercam dynamic transform to move the geometry and to align it with the coordinate system. It is very important to follow the steps in the correct order. To start a command from the Transform tab, I'm going to select in the position area the first icon, the dynamic command. First thing to do is to select the entities to move. I'm going to make a big window and include the solid in, and then press End Selection, or you can also press Enter. I'm going to locate the gnome where I want the origin to be once I do the dynamic transform. So I'm going to pick this corner. I'm going to make sure that I pick an endpoint at that corner. and then click to locate it. You can see the axis of the gnome matches the current axis. I will need to rotate them and to align them to match the axis orientation on the CNC machine. The first thing that I'm checking is in the status bar to see if the outline shaded is enabled. Make sure that it's slightly highlighted. It's kind of difficult to see. And then another thing that I need to ensure is that I am working in the 3D construction mode, which is currently on. Next thing, to be able to align the axis, I will have to toggle the Gnomon switch to Gnomon axis mode. So I just click on it. You can see the axis icon. I will start to align first the x-axis. So I'm going to select the x-axis rotation arc handle here. And then I'm just going to drag the cursor and align the axis with the edge of the part. Again, I'm ensuring that I grab an endpoint here. And then next, I will have to align the y-axis along this edge. I'm selecting the y-axis rotation handle and do the same procedure, making sure that I select the endpoint at that corner. The axes are matching the axis orientation on the CNC machine. Next, I need to tell the system that I want the part to be moved, rotated to match this axis orientation. I'm going to click on the Gnomon switch to toggle it to Gnomon geometry manipulation. In the dynamic panel, in the origin area, I will select the word button to move the geometry from our newly located origin to the Mastercam word origin. You can see how that was achieved. And I'll do the same thing with the axis. I will tell the system that I want to move the axis to match the word axis orientation. To double check how the part is currently orientated, I will do a right mouse click in the graphic area and select the isometric view. And then another right mouse click to fit the geometry. You can see the part perfectly orientated, exactly how it's going to be mounted in the fixtures of the CNC machine. And all I need to do next is to exit the command and then do a right mouse click in the graphic area and clear the colors to return the model color to its normal color. This concludes the video on the dynamic command.